Remember I said on my channel I wanted to bring to the table a little bit more life discussions, right? Just reflection or looking back like, man, I really wish I knew X before I reached Y in life. And I already talked about, hey, 3 things I wish I knew as a young adult, especially in my early 20s. Well, today let's touch on 3 things I wish I knew before stepping into this creative space that's considered sneaker YouTube.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl TJ, back with another video talks with TJ, aka TJ Two Swoosh Chains. Yes, in my, well, new words, new to me, Supreme crew neck. It is certainly fall. It feels just like fallout. So thank you all again for tuning into this video. If you're brand new and you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I always appreciate a like. It's just a small little bit of your time that I ask for. And then to Swoosh crew, if you guys are already subscribed to the channel, really appreciate you. Also to the 30% of women that are subscribed to my channel, that is major. Like, I don't know many other channels that are in this space that have that large amount of their subscriber base be women. It's usually men that will flock to YouTube in terms of sneaker content. So really happy that a lot of women choose to rock with me, support, and trust in what I have to say. You ladies are awesome, so thank you so much. Yeah, alright, so let's jump right into this video of 3 things that I wish I knew sooner in terms of being a creator. And I'm not talking about technical aspects or behind the scenes of like editing and content. Like, that's actually not what I'm talking about, because you can learn how to do that, right? At the end of the day, a lot of it is based on consumerism. It's based on product reviews, right? Having the product in hand and doing a review in some way, shape, or form, you put your own spin on it, right? There's your own authenticity, whether it's how you may edit, if you choose to style a shoe, if you are fashion and sneakers combined into one. I have no idea how I became that, but I guess it is what it is now at this point. So there's a lot that can certainly go into it. But I'm talking about other things that I really just wish I knew. And sometimes you just have to live and learn and go through them. It's not to say that I don't have, people in my corner that are of great support and encouragement, and that have actually been in this game a little, well, I'm not gonna say a little bit, far longer than me. And they're helping guide me along the way when it comes to, honestly, this stuff I'm talking about, versus just having shoes. Shoes are shoes, and people that have money can go and buy the shoes and choose to upload videos and do it consistently, and maybe that works out for them. But I just want to talk about the 3 things I personally wish I knew. And again, this is not in relation to anyone. It just has to do with my experiences. So let's just jump right in. Number 1, everyone is not your friend. Just simply put, everyone is not your friend, just like everyone in real everyday life is not your friend, okay? For a lot of people that you may engage and interact with, especially if they are peers, I'm not talking about viewers and creators, I'm talking about peers. They're situational acquaintances, okay? You all happen to operate in this same space, so to speak, right? In the same room of sneaker YouTube in terms of being a creator, or maybe they're a brand or such, and you may not learn that until down the line. But as situations or circumstances change, your relationship with that individual can change. Certainly, it can become like night and day. So don't think that automatically, like, we'll place people into this category of friends. And I think we need to place a little bit more respect and discernment on that term, because this space is built on growth, right? And it's built on rate of growth and speed of growth. A lot of people are just focused on the growth. They're focused on the numbers. They're focused on the data. They want to grow as large as possible, but as fast as possible. And some are willing to do any and everything to do that, okay? And if you are not careful, you may find yourself on kind of the losing end of whatever action best suits their needs, right? This is truly dog eat dog. Just understand that. So people will always do what is in their best interest at the end of the day. This isn't a sandbox where you come to make friends. Okay, people are here with a motive in mind, and you may not actually know that true motive or the lengths they're willing to go to until they actually happen. And then hopefully you learn a lesson from it. So I would say just keep that in mind, because using the term friend, listen, things change and they won't necessarily always be a friend. And just understand, when you're coming into this space as a creator, you're here to create. Like, as for myself, you're here to create. You're here to inspire. The focus is on your subscriber base, like not the people that are all trying to connect and be friends. Like, a lot of it, they're acquaintances. And just understand this, it may take you being burned a time or two for that to happen. And if it does, sorry, but I've been there, lived through it, and you'll come out, I think, a little bit less naive. All right, so number 2, honestly, don't get so hung up on the numbers, right? Don't become a slave to the data and to the numbers that you see. And what I mean by that is, as a creator, you can become so focused, so honed in on just the counts that you see, right? You see subscriber count, and you see the number of views, and you see the duration of time people are watching, and the click-through rates and all of that. You see that, and then you can become almost paralyzed by it, and you will start to question yourself. Because, I mean, let's be honest, in this space, what actually will drive somebody's growth faster than a lot of other channels, it's how early can you have a product, right? The sooner you have the product, and if it's trusted that it's an authentic early pair, you can get that out in front, which means you jump ahead of everyone else, which means you can certainly get views. Just because it's a high view count, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't mean the content is high quality. It doesn't mean the person is engaging, okay? They can be monotone. They can be lacking a lot of personality. It could be a very basic video of, hey, here's the shoe on foot. All right, done. You guys know where to get it. That's exactly what the content can be. So it being early doesn't mean it's groundbreaking content. It doesn't mean it's really just captivating. It means that it was early, and that's what drives numbers in here. So knowing that, you have to always keep true to yourself, okay? Whatever it is that you set out to do in this space, especially if it's different, right? I'm a little bit different. I have random discussions on my channel because it's Talks with TJ, and I'll talk about what I want to talk about. I'll have discussions on here. I'll talk about money management. I'll talk about budgeting. I'll talk about how to style things, right? That's not always just the norm of, hey, here's a sneaker. This is what I think about it. Is it going to sit? Is it going to sell? How to pick up a shoe. Like, that's not what I wanted to just box myself in as. So I didn't. And I understand that my growth rate will be different. My reach will be different. The dynamic pool of subscribers I have will be different than maybe some of the other channels, and that's perfectly okay. But this is what I had to understand. Just because you may not have the views or the subscriber count, you have no idea who's watching, right? I'm fortunate and really blessed and humble for the opportunities that I have, and I'm still considered a very small tier creator, especially in this space. In the vast space of YouTube, I'm very, very small. But for the opportunities I've had, the projects I've worked on, honestly, they were dreams crossed off the list now. And I will never forget that, but it always reminds me, stop focusing on the numbers, okay? If there's value there, people who make decisions will see it. And you have no idea what that can lead to. All right, number 3, learn to say no to brands respectfully. And I say that because when you first start out, there is a progression that occurs, right? When you're first starting out, you don't actually know and have not proven to the market if you have influencer power in terms of, can you actually influence someone to spend their dollar on a product or a service? We don't know that yet. But as you spend time in this space, that becomes evident, okay? We can check in the comment section. We can check people posting like, hey, because you showed X and I really enjoyed the breakdown and the understanding you provided, I felt I needed to have it, or you changed my mind, or you really impacted me, and I went ahead and I bought this item. You don't know that yet. So when you first start out, you'll have brands that will exchange their own goods to you, and you will promote or market to them. This is typically free, right? You may be an affiliate, you may be an ambassador. All of those ambassador or affiliateships are not paid out. Sometimes you can have a code and you actually not receive anything back from people using that code. Just be mindful of that. That really does happen. So that can be a true reality. Or you could receive something back on the other end of that code, but then you have to look at, okay, for the work that I'm putting in and the dollar amount that's coming back, is it a true ROI? Now, it always depends on what the amount of work that you are putting in, right? Everybody's going to be different. Also, your time is going to be different. So sometimes you have to step back, because once you go through that progression where you're receiving merchandise or goods for free and you are just promoting, right? You're being seeded those items. Then once you get to a certain point where you've proven your value, you have to be honest, okay? A t-shirt is not keeping the lights on. It's not. Just like that brand has expenses, you as an individual, you have expenses too. So then it becomes, what is my time as a creator and my value worth? And once that's established in the market, you need to then ask yourself, okay, what time do I have available to work with or engage with this other brand? Because time is finite, okay? You don't have endless amounts of it. So what are you working on yourself as a creator? What other projects are you already contracted for, if you are contracted for some? In terms of how authentic is it to you, right? You really need to look at yourself and think, I don't care if somebody wants to offer you something for free. Would I go and spend my own money on this? That needs to be the really big question, right? Right now, would I drop 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, whatever the dollar amount is, would I go and spend my own money on this right now? If the answer is no, I would say don't associate with that brand, unless you are only here in this space to get a bag, get a dollar, then fine, go right ahead with that. But I would just say, if it's not something you would get on your own, then fine, just don't even do it. And be mindful of the fact that, at least this is how I think of it, when you are the one that's reaching out to a brand, right? You now have lost that leverage, to be honest with you. I don't reach out to brands. So if they find value and they see that in me and they feel that I best align with the message and the vision they have for their brand, their services, and where they're going, awesome. Then if they reach out, I feel it aligns and it's authentic, I'll move forward. But you just have to understand that you linking yourself to any brand or showcasing anything for them, you're now then linked with them, right? So understand you are in some way still, I'm not going to say responsible, but by proxy, people will link their actions and their words to you. And it's never fun to be associated with another adult's actions if they don't really reflect good on you. So just keep that in mind. No matter what issues that arise, it might come back to you. So be mindful of that always. And then another thing I would say is, in terms of brands and them, you know, let me put this correctly. Them reaching out to you and you reaching out to them, like, there are times where you, as a creator, just understand this, like, you might put something out there, right? And people choose to support it and buy it. Awesome. Like, they support it. That's great. That's awesome. And then sometimes you think that's just out of genuine support, right? Be mindful sometimes, though, that they may then expect something back in return and you don't know it, right? So then on the other end, they do the same, right? They have something that comes out. And they may look at you a little sideways, right? Giving you a little wayward look, because maybe you didn't reciprocate and go spend X amount or reach out to get that product. Understand this always. You need to do whatever you do without expectations, okay? Just because you choose to reach out. And if at any time you reach out and you buy something from somebody, I hope that it's because you just genuinely like it. Not because you're expecting in the future, when I then put something out, I expect them to then come right back and buy it. Because genuinely, truly, just me, if I don't like it, I may not go spend my money on it. It doesn't mean I support you any less. It just means I may not actually see the value in me having that for myself. That's another thing just to keep in mind, because I know that that has happened from time to time. It's never any love lost, right? It's strictly business. It's not really personal. And then also just be in mind too, as you grow and you evolve, just like the seasons change, who you may be linked to will change in terms of branding, right? And that also means that every brand won't continue with you through every stage of growth that you go through. And that's fine. That's just change and that's evolution, and it happens. Again, that is truly business. That's not personal either. So there are my 3 things that I really kind of wish I knew up front early on when I first stepped into this space as a creator within sneaker YouTube. And hopefully this helps somebody else who is either aspiring or already a creator, or you were just curious of, hey, what were some things, CJ, you wish you knew before stepping into this space? So please go ahead, sound off in the comments section. I always love to hear your thoughts. I love engaging back with you guys. It's a little bit longer, but hey, just want to go ahead and get this out there. So hopefully you guys tune in at 4 o'clock on my Instagram. I will be on with I'm Simply B after you guys are viewing this at 4 p.m. Eastern. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.